When sharing a neutral conductor in a three-phase electrical system, the circuits do not need to be in sequential order, such as 2, 4, 6, and so on. The key requirement is that the circuit sharing the neutral must be connected to different phases. This principle is fundamental to the proper operation and safety of the electrical system. To understand this, it's crucial to grasp the behavior of current in a balanced three-phase system. In a perfectly balanced system, the current in the neutral conductor is theoretically zero. This is because the currents from the three phases vectorially sum to zero. However, in real-world scenarios, perfect balance is rarely achieved, leading to some current flow in the neutral. The purpose of ensuring that circuits sharing a neutral are on different phases is to minimize the neutral current. If multiple circuits in the same phase shared a neutral, the neutral conductor would have to carry the arithmetic sum of the currents from those circuits, potentially overloading it and creating a fire hazard. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for multi-wire branch circuits, which often involve sharing a neutral. The NEC addresses the requirements for identifying the grounded conductor, which is the neutral, and for ensuring that the neutral conductor is not overloaded. Article 310.15 of the NEC covers ampacity, the current carrying capacity of conductors. It provides tables and guidelines for determining the allowable ampacity of conductors based on factors like conductor size, insulation type, and ambient temperature. When dealing with shared neutrals, it's essential to consider the potential for harmonic currents, particularly the third harmonic and its multiples. These harmonic currents are additive in the neutral conductor in a three-phase system, even when the fundamental frequencies are balanced. This can result in a neutral current that is significantly higher than what would be expected from the fundamental frequency currents alone. To mitigate the effects of harmonic currents, the NEC requires that the neutral conductor be sized appropriately to handle the anticipated harmonic load. In some cases, this may mean increasing the size of the neutral conductor compared to the phase conductors. Furthermore, the NEC addresses the use of overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, to protect conductors from overloads and short circuits. It's crucial to select overcurrent protection devices with the appropriate ampacity rating to protect both the phase conductors and the neutral conductor. When working with three-phase systems, it's also important to understand the different voltage configurations that may be encountered. Common three-phase voltage configurations include 208 volts, 240 volts, 480 volts, and 600 volts. The specific voltage configuration will affect the design and installation of the electrical system, including the selection of conductors, overcurrent protection devices, and other components. The NEC also addresses the requirements for grounding and bonding in electrical systems. Grounding is the intentional connection of a conductive object to the earth, while bonding is the connection of conductive objects to each other to create an electrically conductive path. Grounding and bonding are essential for safety, as they help to minimize the risk of electric shock and provide a path for fault current to flow back to the source, allowing overcurrent protection devices to trip and energize the circuit. When sharing a neutral, it's important to ensure that the grounding and bonding system is properly installed and maintained. This includes ensuring that the neutral conductor is properly grounded at the service entrance and that all metallic enclosures and equipment are properly bonded together. In addition to the NEC, other standards and regulations may apply to electrical installations depending on the location and the type of facility. These standards may include local building codes, utility regulations, and industry-specific standards. It's important to be familiar with all applicable standards and regulations before designing or installing an electrical system. When working with electrical systems, safety should always be the top priority. It's essential to follow safe work practices and to use appropriate personal protective equipment such as gloves, safety glasses, and arc-rated clothing. Only qualified and licensed electricians should perform electrical work. Improperly installed or maintained electrical systems can be dangerous and can lead to electric shock, fire, and other hazards. In summary, when sharing a neutral conductor in the three-phase system, the circuits can be staggered as long as they are connected to different phases. It is important to adhere to the National Electrical Code, or NEC, guidelines and best practices to ensure safety and proper operation of the electrical system. Pay close attention to conductor ampacity, overcurrent protection, harmonic currents, grounding, and bonding to prevent overloads, short circuits, and other electrical hazards. Always prioritize safety and consult with qualified professionals for any electrical work. Considering a scenario where a panel board is fed from a three-phase, four-wire system, the load is not always evenly distributed across the three phases. This imbalance can lead to current flow in the neutral conductor. For example, if phase A is carrying 20 amps, phase B is carrying 15 amps, and phase C is carrying 10 amps, the neutral conductor will carry the unbalanced current, which in this case would be the vector sum of the three-phase currents. To minimize the neutral current, it's desirable to balance the load as much as possible across the three phases. This can be achieved by carefully planning the circuit layout and distribution of loads. When designing the electrical system, it's also important to consider the potential for future load growth. It's generally a good practice to oversize the neutral conductor to accommodate future increases in load and to provide a margin of safety. The NEC provides guidance on sizing the neutral conductor based on the anticipated load and the potential for harmonic currents. In some cases, it may be necessary to install a separate neutral conductor for each circuit, rather than sharing a neutral. This may be required for circuits that are particularly sensitive to voltage drop or for circuits that are likely to generate significant harmonic currents. When installing conductors, it's important to follow the NEC guidelines for conductor bundling and dirting. When conductors are bundled together, their ampacity is reduced due to the increased heat generated by the conductors. The NEC provides tables that specify the amount of dirting required based on the number of conductors in a bundle and the ambient temperature. It's also important to properly terminate conductors at the panel board and at the load. Loose or corroded connections can create resistance and heat, which can lead to voltage drop, equipment malfunction, and even fire. All connections should be cleaned tight and properly torqued. The NEC provides guidelines for torquing connections to ensure that they are properly tightened. In addition to the technical aspects of sharing a neutral, it's also important to consider the administrative and regulatory requirement. Electrical work typically requires permits and inspections to ensure that it complies with applicable codes and standards. It's important to obtain all necessary permits before starting any electrical work and to schedule inspections upon completion of the work. Furthermore, electrical contractors and electricians typically need to be licensed to perform electrical work. Licensing requirements vary by jurisdiction, but generally involve passing an examination and demonstrating experience in the electrical trade. When hiring an electrical contractor or electrician, it's important to verify that they are properly licensed and insured. Improperly licensed or uninsured contractors may not be qualified to perform electrical work and may not be held liable for any damages caused by their work. Regular maintenance and inspection of electrical systems are essential to ensure their continued safe and reliable operation. Electrical systems should be inspected periodically for signs of wear and tear, such as cracked insulation, loose connections, and corroded components. Any problems identified during inspection should be promptly repaired to prevent them from escalating into more serious issues. In addition to visual inspections, electrical systems should also be tested periodically to verify their performance. Testing may include insulation resistance testing, current impedance testing, and circuit breaker testing. These tests can help to identify potential problems before they cause equipment failure or safety hazards. Finally, it's important to keep accurate records of all electrical work performed on the system. These records should include the date of the work, a description of the work performed, the names of the contractors or electricians who performed the work, and any test results. These records can be valuable for troubleshooting problems and for planning future maintenance and upgrades. Let's consider a practical example. Imagine a commercial office building with multiple floors, each with numerous lighting and receptacle circuits. The electrical distribution system utilizes a three-phase, four-wire, 480V/277V system for lighting and a three-phase, four-wire, 208V/120V system for receptacles and small power equipment. In this scenario, it's common to share neutrals among the lighting circuits in the 277-volt system and among the receptacle circuits in the 120-volt system. To ensure proper operation and safety, the circuit sharing and neutral must be connected to different phases. For example, a lighting circuit on phase A, a lighting circuit on phase B, and a lighting circuit on phase C could share a single neutral conductor. This helps to balance the load across the three phases and minimize the neutral current. The neutral conductor must be sized appropriately to handle the anticipated load, including any harmonic currents. It's also important to ensure that the grounding and bonding system is properly installed and maintained to provide a safe path for fault current to flow back to the source. The receptacle circuits on the 120-volt system can be similarly configured, with circuits on different phases sharing a neutral conductor. However, it's important to consider the potential for high neutral currents due to nonlinear loads, such as computers and electronic equipment. These loads can generate significant harmonic currents, which can add up in the neutral conductor and cause it to overheat. To mitigate this risk, it may be necessary to install a separate neutral conductor for each circuit or to use a larger neutral conductor to handle the anticipated harmonic load. It's also important to use high-quality electrical components and to follow the NEC guidelines for installation and maintenance. This includes using properly sized conductors, terminating connections correctly, and protecting circuits with appropriately rated overcurrent protection devices. Regular inspections and testing can help to identify potential problems before they cause equipment failure or safety hazards. The key takeaway is that sharing a neutral conductor in a three-phase system can be a safe and efficient way to distribute power, but it requires careful planning, design, and installation. It's essential to follow the NEC guidelines and best practices to ensure that the electrical system operates safely and reliably. Always consult with qualified professionals for any electrical work and prioritize safety above all else. The application of these principles extends beyond commercial buildings to various industrial and residential settings. In industrial facilities, three-phase power is commonly used to operate large machinery and equipment. Sharing neutrals can be employed to reduce the amount of wiring required, but it's crucial to account for the specific load characteristics of the equipment. Some industrial equipment may generate significant harmonic currents, which can impact the sizing of the neutral conductor. In residential settings, three-phase power is less common, but it may be used in larger homes or for specific applications, such as electric vehicle charging. When sharing neutrals in residential systems, it's important to follow the NEC guidelines and to consider the potential for future load growth. It's also important to ensure that the electrical system is properly grounded and bonded to protect against electric shock. Whether it's a commercial, industrial, or residential application, the principles of sharing neutrals in three-phase systems remain the same. The circuit sharing a neutral must be connected to different phases, the neutral conductor must be sized appropriately to handle the anticipated load, and the electrical system must be properly grounded and bonded. By adhering to these principles, it's possible to create a safe and efficient electrical system that meets the needs of the application. The complexity of modern electrical systems often necessitates the use of specialized equipment for monitoring and analysis. Power quality analyzers can be used to measure voltage, current, harmonics, and other parameters to assess the performance of the electrical system. These analyzers can help to identify potential problems such as voltage imbalances, harmonic distortion, and excessive neutral currents. The data collected by power quality analyzers can be used to optimize the electrical system and to prevent equipment failures. In addition to power quality analyzers, there are other specialized tools and equipment that can be used for electrical testing and maintenance. Insulation resistance testers, also known as megameters, can be used to measure the resistance of insulation to detect potential insulation failures. Ground impedance testers can be used to measure the impedance of the grounding system to ensure that it is providing a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source. Circuit breaker testers can be used to verify that circuit breakers are operating correctly and to identify any potential problems. The use of these specialized tools and equipment can help to improve the reliability and safety of electrical systems. Continuous learning and professional development are essential for electricians and electrical engineers to stay up to date with the latest technologies and best practices. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, with new technologies and standards being introduced on a regular basis. By participating in training courses, attending industry conferences, and reading technical publications, electricians and electrical engineers can expand their knowledge and skills and provide better service to their customers. Certification programs are also available for electricians and electrical engineers to demonstrate their expertise in specific areas. These certification programs can help to enhance career opportunities and to improve the credibility of electrical professionals. The journey of understanding three-phase electrical systems and the nuances of sharing neutrals is a continuous one. From grasping the fundamental principles of balanced loads and harmonic currents to staying abreast of the latest NEC guidelines and utilizing specialized testing equipment, there's always something new to learn. Embrace this ongoing learning process, and you'll be well equipped to design, install, and maintain safe and efficient electrical systems for a wide range of applications. Remember, safety is paramount. Always prioritize safe work practices, use appropriate personal protective equipment, and consult with qualified professionals when needed. With a solid foundation of knowledge and a commitment to safety, you can confidently navigate the complexities of three-phase electrical systems and contribute to a safer and more reliable electrical infrastructure.